Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Crystal, and we're getting back into South Central Baddies, Season 6, Episode 2, Shaking Tables.
Try it. Try it. Try it. With me if you want to. It's not a good day. Okay? Now back to that one. Shaking the table.
So we pick up right where we left off last week with Fiji and Lady H's, getting active. And this third round, Fiji tore her down, okay? So Fiji wants to keep going, but Lady H's got a lot of fight on her hands, okay? And she said she got some fights with some heavy hitters too. So she really not trying to get that. But Fiji ends up running up, okay? And when I say she ran up and through there, okay? To the point, they got Ivory ready to call the troops. Like, these newbies is out here banging. No shade. They gagged her. She was gagged. Then Rose and Mamas, they start going back and forth real bad, okay? So they end up taking us back to LA. Bunk Life, they throwing water, they throwing stuff at Cash, they screaming kill her, they going crazy. Like, it's a lot for one person, with no backup or nothing. Bree outside in the van chilling, like, huh? Like, what? Like, girl, you a danger, girl. So Money Low, she start making drug allegations against Cash, okay? And Cash says she's getting her for sure. She needs that. But I want to know, what would y'all do in that situation? Or y'all getting jumped, like, or are y'all leaving like how Cash did? Let me know in the comments below. So next, we get Pressure coming in. So Pressure comes in, Liddy goes on to the Sprinter. She sees Bree on there. So Cash comes on the Sprinter. Pressure's on the Sprinter. So, Liddy's talking to Cash, and, they end up going back and forth and with Pressure. And, she mentions Liddy jumping her with Ivory, okay? And Liddy starts popping it, talking about, like, you keep playing and you won't get socked on, period. And at this point, they end up popping it back and forth. Liddy screaming, Pressure screaming. But my thing is, just know, y'all going to have to get that at one point or another. Simple. So they then take us back to Vegas, okay? Mama's is popping it on camera about Rose's black eye, okay? Then we got Lady H's, she comes to the screen, and baby, her face, those knots, like, I wouldn't even know what to do in a situation like that. Like, I'm wilding out disrespectfully. Like, I am so glad these shows came after my generation, because baby, yeah, no ma'am. So Mamas and Rose, they end up going another round. And Mamas ate Rose up. But, part of it was because her scarf, the scarf did come over her eyes. And that's why she ended up by the pool table, no shade. But I don't know. I got some advice for you, Bookie. That wig was terrible, too. No shade, Rose. That wig, like, girl, you got to do better than that, Mamas. On a national platform, like that outre wig, no ma'am. So Fiji is still looking for Lady H's, okay, trying to fight again. So she finds her, she start calling her a little boy. Girl, you look like a little boy. Like, girl, then she goes, and they start squaring up. And Lady H is still trying to tell her, like, girl, I'm not really trying to fight you. I got other faves. And she does the unthinkable, y'all. Why this girl then spit out her mouth? Okay? And I mean, like, a big, nasty spit. Like, and then you spit it towards her. You don't even know if you got her. It looked like you spit on this fine black man, okay? And spitting is one of the worst things. It's one of the most disrespectful things that you could do to somebody. Like, Fiji, why would you do that? Why would you do that, Fiji? You need to get down on your knees and apologize to this man, okay?
Because I'll be there for him with open arms and open legs and an open mouth.
So after, the whole spitting incident, Sway gets everybody together. Shout out to you, Sway. Ooh. And, he points out that they have a zero tolerance policy for spitting. And she should have definitely been disciplined for that, because that is so disgusting. Like, ooh, nobody want no spit out of your mouth. And then he is right. These are grown men, here to protect y'all. Like, I think she did spit on that man. No shade. So Lady H is, she's outside smoking and vibing with Donye and Mamas, and girl Fiji comes out, and she ends up hashing things with Lady H's. She didn't apologize either, but Lady H's was like, nah, it's cool, it's not really that deep, wooty woo. But this fine black man right here, you definitely owe him an apology, girl. You should definitely take my advice, okay? And do what?
Because I'll be there for him. With open arms and open legs and an open mouth.
Thank you. So, the ladies, they're really getting along. They're outside. They playing sports. I think they was playing like tennis or badminton, whatever that's called, ping pong. And then they start playing football. And it was just a nice little 1-2 scene, I almost thought, like, is this South Central Baddies that I'm watching? Hello? But it was refreshing. So then we get introduced or reintroduced to E.T. And she enters and she goes to meet with Sway and Tilo, I think that other one name is. I'm not sure who he is. I know they said like he was engaged to Carly Red, but whatever. So they catch up and they ask her if she has any phase in the house. And she says she just might. Bitch, I might be. Bitch, I might be. We'll see. So if we know, then that means yes. So next we get Jazz, and Miss Mamas is eating this confessional look, okay? Makeup, hair, outfit, nails, okay? All that, heels, okay? Baby, it's tints across the board, thank you. So E.T. meets up with Big Ivory, okay? And they discuss their fades in the house. And E.T. says, she's fighting Cash for sure, Bree, and maybe Pressure, okay? So Ivory's letting E.T. know, these newbies, they banging for real, and she's here for it, and E.T. asks Ivory, well, how you gonna feel when they come for your sister, Jazz? And Jazz enters the scene, and she said, to make it simple, they running they ones. Ivory's going to run her ones. Jazz going to run her ones. And then they got follow-ups after each other. And that's for sure. That's your sister. That's the law. That's law. Period. And that's where we leave off with this episode. I am overly excited for next week's episode, y'all. Make sure y'all leave a comment. Which fight was the most entertaining to y'all this episode. Leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It's free, no shade. And I will see y'all in the next one. Mwah. No bars.